Now, when it comes to Pusha T and the beef that he just started with Travis Scott, well, if you are ready to see how not even a full day after rap's latest genre-changing disc has been released, multiple rappers, hip-hop superstars, and at that, some of the most important MCs in the game are showing that they have been waiting for Travis to get exposed like this. And he truly may become the next rapper to lose his career. With how much disdain is coming to the forefront, be sure to leave a like and subscribe, it helps me out a ton. And now truly, as what is going on with Travis is really going to end up shaking entire careers. Make sure to leave that like so all of hip-hop can really see how Travis is truly in trouble right now. And with that said, currently when it comes to one of the biggest moments that we have seen in rap in a while, with Clips' new song So Be It, and specifically Pusha T's disses here, which are geared towards Travis Scott, well more, with this very disc, than any other disc that we have seen since so many rappers showed that they have issues with Drake, what we are finding out, and at that so early into Pusha just calling out Travis and starting this beef that who knows how Travis will end up responding, if at all, is that there are more rappers who are vocally proud and standing on Pusha's side, and who are seeming to share the exact same sentiments about how they don't like Travis than rappers are standing alongside with Trav, because truly, right now, while nobody has come out to speak on Travis's end of things, and there has been no sign of support really anywhere when it comes to what Pusha did, aside from hip-hop purists and legendary personalities in the game, just loving a track that both musically and competitively is peak hip-hop, well now with multiple superstar rappers. What we are seeing from them is that with the release of this track, which in terms of the surprise and impact, I don't think anybody saw coming. Just in terms of Push making this his first full dedicated disc for anybody on this album, and it was that Travis Scott of all people, is that other rappers have not hesitated to share the same sentiments about the guy. And now before we go any further, if you have not already, make sure to leave that like and subscribe. It helps me out a ton. And now with that said, currently with what has been going on with this growing disdain for Travis Scott, well, maybe because of all the collabs and things that Travis has been doing on the run he has been on in the industry for a while, maybe either artists thought that they would not be allowed to diss him entirely, or they felt that they would be put in a place where they would be shelved. Which again, when you look in the industry, and we know that this has been a precedent for somebody like Drake, we can't count this out as a possibility as a whole. And now, really, while this may even be true, and this is why people have not spoke against Travis Scott the way they have wanted to, well, again, as Pusha has now left the major label system, and he is with Roc Nation, and of course, Jay-Z is letting him say and do whatever he wants. Push is leading something forward, which it seems like a lot of MCs can't do right now, because again, of course, the industry has even tried to stop Kendrick Lamar from having verses that have gotten out there, and now really what this is now because Push is not on the major label system, he, of course, can say whatever he wants, and nobody is going to do anything about it. And I guess because of this, and on top of that, him being the first one to ever put out a dedicated disc to Travis Scott in a song in a super highly anticipated album rollout that everybody has been paying attention to at that, well, truly now with all of this, just like when like that came out and so many rappers realized that they can say what they have wanted to about Drake because Kendrick just spoke his truth finally. Well, now to a different extent we are seeing a similar version of this, but of course all against Travis Scott. And now, who most importantly has reacted to this song and has ended up showing their support to Push well at the top of this list, and most importantly, is none other than two rappers in Tyler the Creator and A$AP Rocky, and now with ASAP Rocky. Well, what he did was like the post where Push and Clips dropped this song, and once again, as Rocky has become one of these guys who we end up hearing more about with his moves outside of music than anything else, because of course we are unfortunately nowhere near getting that album, no matter what he says. Well, now with Rocky liking and making sure that everyone who scrolls by saw his picture right next to the song that went viral for its Travis Scott disc. This is not a coincidence, especially when you see that through the rest of KL Clips' rollout, and on all of Pusha's most recent posts. It's not like Rocky has stayed up with those, or has even been liking them at all, and I mean with Rocky doing this, well, first off with him just making this move where everybody can see that he is a supporter of this disc, which is calling out Travis Scott to this extent that we have never heard before. Really, this shouldn't be surprising, and it is telling of how much people have wanted him to have a downfall, because really now, with the few songs that Rocky has tried to release to roll out this album, that it feels like is never dropping, there has been some subliminal disses that have clearly been put Travis's way. And of course we also know that Rocky and Travis have always never been good with one another, and Rocky has clearly felt and has expressed multiple times, both in interviews and in songs, that he just doesn't respect Travis, as he believes that he is a hack or even a grifter of some sort, and says himself that Travis ran away with the style and swag that ASAP created in the first place. And so for Rocky calling out Travis for taking the best ideas of other people and never having his own, and to be honest with Rocky, just co-signing what Push just did, knowing the history of the beef he has had with Travis, and then also knowing that in the past, as the last time there started to be an industry-wide push to go at Drake after Kendrick Lamar just started things off, and then Future and Metro and all them were doing their thing on their albums, I would not be surprised if Rocky ends up jumping in on this thing on some level because he has done it before. But now the bigger supporter for this song, and really what is more telling about how hated Travis is in the industry, is the reaction that this track has gotten from none other than Tyler the Creator, and now with Tyler just hyping up this track and sharing it on his story now. While I will say on one hand Tyler hypes up all these Clips records because he is just a huge fan of hip-hop and supports the genre, and especially his idols like Pharrell and Push, more than anything else. Well, let's be real first off, as Tyler the Creator has been working to Pharrell so closely for quite a while, and also Pusha T as a result considering the type of fan he is, and again, the working relationship that Pharrell and Tyler have, we can pretty much assume that he knew what was on this record and knew this disc was coming a long time ago. And now if Pusha T is dissing Travis Scott like this because he allowed Drake to diss Pharrell on Utopia the way he ended up doing on Meltdown, well, again, when we understand that all of this is about how Pharrell has been treated and just brought into something that he never should have been in, well, just ask yourself who has been more protective of Pharrell and idolizes him more than Tyler the Creator. And so just based on how close Tyler is to Pharrell and Push and how he probably already heard this record, and who knows, he could very well be a featured artist on this thing as well. We can now just see that Tyler the Creator is also not just against Travis Scott for everything that he has done here, but truly, in the bigger picture of this all, he is standing on the side of hip-hop with Push, a Jay-Z, Kendrick Lamar, and everyone who is trying to just stand up for the genre and everything else that has ever mattered in it, and ultimately just try to bring back the authenticity that the genre has missed so long to the forefront. And so with Tyler between this, and then also based on the fact that both with his best friend in the industry, and Rocky, and then his idol in Pharrell, and then another friend and idol in the industry as a whole, and Pusha T all standing against Travis, come on, there is just no way that Tyler is not supporting this move, which is really just trying to push Travis Scott out and get back at him for everything he has done. And now with all of this truly already, with more and more big name rappers showing that they are fed up with how Travis Scott has been moving, and they are just trying to check him now, in general, for acting in a way that has only prioritized clout and, to be honest, just chasing whatever trend in the corniest way possible. While really, with all of this and even for all of these artists, despite how they feel about him when it comes to how Travis has created pretty much everything he has ever done off Kanye's throwaway tracks and influence from other artists at that, and has never truly had an original idea that he has really owned with all of these artists who have pioneered something, and especially Tyler the Creator, it seems like they already probably didn't respect Travis on any level artistically. And now with what Travis has done to Pharrell, this is the last reason for just everybody to crumble in on this guy and finally call him out once and for all. And so now from here, which it really seems like all of this is going to continue, and we are only going to find out more and more about how much hip-hop has just disliked Travis Scott. Well, now what is clear is that with no other rappers to defend him, and more stars stepping out and showing that they are okay with this, and a lot of times, with a lot of names, they're actually encouraging it seemingly well now, the first lesson for everybody should be to stop messing with Pharrell because he has way too much respect from his peers, and they will literally end careers over disrespecting him. Well, now for Travis, in all honesty, it seems like all of his games have caught up to him, and he is now at a point where what happens to him could be very similar to what happened to Drake, just in terms of people being absolutely fed up with him, and as a result letting his career just fall off to new heights. Because with what Pusha T is doing, I think there will be a time that, probably not on the Clips record but on something else, we will see pull out this further plan he seems to have on Travis and just expose everything that he was hinting at on this new track, which was this whole section of him talking about how Travis has lost everything with Kylie Jenner and his pride, and that he has this video that is seemingly really embarrassing, and truly who knows what that could hold. And with what Push can do, he may really end up showing how Travis Scott has just lost all of the respect he possibly could have had in the rap game. And add that from people like Pharrell and so many other important names. And truly, if I were Travis Scott, now that this era of running around and standing on nothing is over, and again, people just want to see rappers stand for something and kind of hold up their words in any sort of way that is even slightly meaningful, I think things are going to get very bad for him, unless he can make a big song or something that is going to distract people from how tired rap is of what he is doing as a whole. But really, as Travis has been so cold since Utopia and has really not popped off with any singles or features outside of stuff that has been carried by Future, Metro, or Cardi, I don't know how he can even come out of this thing looking good. And for this reason, and once and for all, when this is all said and done, it really seems like Travis Scott is about to lose a lot, because both in terms of the peers and rappers in general that are just moving against him, which it only seems like that's going to get worse. Who knows how many people are never going to work with him again, which really will be bad considering how he really does not have original ideas and he only takes influence from others. And even worse, who knows if Pusha is really about to have another story of Adidas-like moment on him, because if this is where all this is headed, things are about to change forever, and I don't think Travis Scott saw any of this coming. So now with all of this said, let me know what do you think about the reaction that this Travis Scott disc from Push A is getting from hip-hop, and how do you think about these other rappers who are starting to move against Travis and are showing just in general that they want Pusha to truly expose him and just get him out of the circle of the top guys in the game now. I can't wait to hear what you have to say about all this now. If you made it to this point in the video, be sure to leave a like and subscribe, it helps me out a ton. And now if you want to see how right before this, well, with this OIA track that Clips dropped itself, it already scared the entire music industry and Travis Scott more than ever. Check out the suggested video.